Africa tour. You know, Ishowspeed showed the world, oh hey, Africa is on fire, guys.
This whole time, bro, they made us think Africa was such a poor country, bro. Such a
It's a continent, Africa.
place you wouldn't want to be at, bro. And speed is single-handedly changing my perspective of life. Like the music in Africa, the culture, everything, every single aspect of Africa just makes my insides feel so good, bro. And it makes me just want to leave America. Bro, I feel like America is the trap. America is the trap. The American dream is the
Well,
trap. Everybody else is free, but not free from America. America's the problem, bro.
yes.
America's the problem. And I'm ready to get the out of here. Like, Speed, thank you, bro. Thank you.
For decades, a deeply flawed narrative has shaped how many Americans and people around the world perceive Africa. To some, Africa is imagined as a single poor country.
They like to say Africa is a country. It's a continent, man.
An endless stretch of huts, mosquitoes, dry land, and people struggling endlessly for water. It is a picture frozen in time, reinforced by outdated documentaries, selective news coverage, and years of one-sided storytelling. So it comes as no surprise that when Ishowspeed, a famous American streamer, recently began touring Africa, the reactions from many Americans ranged from disbelief to shock. What they saw did not match what they had been told. They discovered that Africa is not a country, but a vast and diverse continent made up of different nations, each with its own culture, economy, cities,
Yeah, they call me the
languages,
Coleslaw God,
and
you know, I'm
identity.
sponsored by Coleslaw.
They saw
They say I
modern
must promote their
highways
product.
filled with
Shout out
luxury
Coleslaw.
and electric
Go slow,
cars.
not fast.
They saw skyscrapers, clean running water, vibrant nightlife, advanced technology, and cities buzzing with energy and ambition. And for many watching online, it felt like a revelation. Suddenly, the propaganda cracked.
Hey yo, I know I talk big shit about Africa, B. But after watching this Ishowspeed stream in Africa, South Africa, and Johannesburg and all over, yo, I'm coming. I'm coming. Yo, listen, everybody who I offended, all those Africans down there in South Africa and blah, 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 Burkina Faso and all, yo, my bad. Yo, call me Kunta Kinte, because I'm on my motherfucking way. I see y'all in a minute.
No,
Speed
stay there.
showing me the real side of Africa right now. Like, yo, like, man, you got some places out there that are just, it just scream home to your soul. Good looking, Speed. Call me Kunta. I'm coming home.
Hey,
Y'all probably wondering why I'm crying.
they're crying.
I've been watching.
Hey, hi, they're trapped there. Africa is such a beautiful continent, guys. You see, you're being lied to. You listen to white people there telling you Africa, hey, you get beaten by lions. Want to see beauty? Come to Africa, guys. Such a diverse continent. If you know what I'm saying, you know, you're not. We are. Ish, let me shut up. Let me shut up.
Speed streams. And I'm seeing all the love that he's getting in Angola. He's in South Africa. And he's getting massive amount of love. And the way that he was treated in Europe was disgusting. But to see him be a black man from the United States of African descent and be able to go back to the continent and be treated like a human by civilized African people. When we've been taught that Africa is primitive, that it's dangerous, don't go back. They have this, they have that. They don't want you, they don't like you.
They're lying.
And to see an African American man with his stature go back to the motherland and be treated with so much respect. This is what our people fought for. This is what they fought for when they fought against Jim Crow. And
Hey, but your other people, they're saying they're not African. I wonder where the black people came from if they say they are not African. They came from where? China?
segregation. This is what the slave revolts were about. This is what it's always been about. Is to be able to go back home to a home that you've never been and be unapologetically black and not have to think about being black. Just being able to have your natural hair and your brown skin and not be judged.
Hey, go to South African schools. They will tell you what to do and what not to do with your hair. It's like your hair is getting in the way of your studies. But they will let the other children do what they want with their hair. But immediately when it comes to a black person, we don't want this time, want this one, like, it's hair, Joe. Like, what does hair have to do with the child's schoolwork in jail? Nothing. But go to white people's schools. Hey, code of conduct, hey. Uniform, I understand, yes. Hey, I.
And not be racially profiled and not be killed. I love the love that he is getting. And I love the love that all of my African American people are getting in the continent.
Shut up.
And I know there's a lot of issues. I know there's a lot of things that need to be worked out. But I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And I love that for him, and I love that for all of my people that are over there. And I can't wait to hit the soil and experience it myself.
The love is really in Africa, but it's really love here, bro. Bro, I haven't been nowhere where I thought like, oh no, I don't belong here.
Africa, long misrepresented as helpless and broken, revealed itself as alive, complex, and breathtakingly beautiful. The truth is simple yet powerful. Africa is one of the most blessed continents on Earth. It is rich not only in natural resources, gold, oil, gas, cobalt, diamonds, fertile land, but also in culture, creativity, resilience, and human warmth.
Something
Africa has some of
the colonizers can't steal. They can steal the materialistic things, but the things we have, culture, they can't steal it. They've tried, they can't.
biggest populations in the world, some of the fastest growing cities, and some of the most dynamic cultural expressions on the planet. Yet for years, the dominant global narrative has painted Africa as poor, dirty, unsafe, and incapable. This narrative did not happen by accident. It was shaped by colonial history, economic interests, and a global media system that often highlights tragedy while ignoring progress.
The propaganda against Africa stops today. The tide is shifting and the energy is moving towards the motherland once again. The motherland will no longer be disrespected. I urge all of us to go there and visit and see what's really going on for ourselves. I was already planning to take a trip to Africa months ago, and I can't wait because I'm really going for an extended period of time, to the point where I'm gonna have to pack up a lot of the things that I work for in my home. But it's because I want to give Africa the time and attention that it deserves. We come from Africa, but then we hate on Africa as a travel destination, right? Humanity began in Africa, but now all of a sudden humanity doesn't want to visit Africa. So when I see Ishowspeed going there, I see streamers going there, I see that the energy is shifting over there as it should, it makes me happy because it's like what I knew in my heart was right. We have to go and visit that place, man. That's where everything started from. And my background is Jamaican, and I listen to like Rastafarian music. And in a lot of the Rasta music, they talk so much about the motherland and moving back to Africa and visiting Africa and getting in touch with our roots. And I think that it's time that the propaganda ends. It's time for us to stop thinking that America is just the only country in the world or the best country in the world. It's not about who's the best. It's not about the only, not about none of that. It's just about experiencing something for yourself.
Fun fact, we have free healthcare in South Africa.
And seeing something new, getting a brand new experience and being in touch with what's going on and your roots, man. So shout out to Ishowspeed for traveling around the world and exposing what's really going on in Africa. It's a beautiful time, it's a beautiful place, beautiful energy, beautiful people, and I can't wait to visit one day.
Images of conflict and poverty became the default story, while innovation, development, and success stories were quietly overlooked. As a result, many people in America grew up believing that Africans still live in jungles, hunt with spears, and lack basic amenities. That belief, repeated long enough, hardened into truth for those who had never set foot on the continent. This is
Imagine them saying we're hunting with spears. Imikhonto. Hayi. Bayaqhela shem. You see? Abelungu. Baza propagandize wena. Like I go right the way and ever. Cause I like in Africa, every country has its own culture and richness in like humanity, what, you know. The countries I would like to visit in Africa: Tanzania, Kenya, Namibia, China, Uganda, Ghana, and Nigeria, and Ethiopia. Yeah.
why moments like this, when popular American streamer Ishowspeed
Hey, I forgot Cape Verde. Yay.
touring Africa, matters far beyond entertainment. When millions of young people watch someone they trust walk through African cities, laughing with locals, eating street food, experiencing culture, seeing infrastructure, it challenges everything they thought they knew. It humanizes Africa, it modernizes Africa, and most importantly, it returns Africa's story to reality. Viewers see bustling streets filled with creativity and commerce. They see African youth who are confident, stylish, tech-savvy, and globally aware. They see clean neighborhoods, organized markets, working systems, and communities full of life. They see joy, they see pride, they see dignity. And perhaps for the first time, they ask themselves a dangerous question. What else have we been wrong about?
And I personally believe that what Speedy's doing right now, without even realizing it, is he's literally waking up the masses. He's waking up the masses from all the propaganda and the lies that the media has fed America, Black Americans, about Africans and Africa. You know, he might not even know it or be aware of it, but he is literally healing generations right now. It might be an innocent thing and look like it's streaming, but a lot of Americans are waking up and realizing they were fed lies. And everything that they learned and were taught about Africa.
Speed's Africa tour is kind of scaring me right now because the amount of people admitting that they didn't realize that Africa wasn't just like sticks and mud. Like, you know, Africa actually has, you know, modern technology and roads and running water and all that type of stuff. Then that
I wonder where they got the thing of us living in jungles, sticks and mud. Where did they get it? Hey, America, man. Well, I want to know your curriculum on like Africa, like African history. I want to know that because what? Sticks and mud, 2026.
Africa is a continent, you know, not a country. I've seen clips of Speed's story and like I love it because every place he goes he kind of rewrites like the stereotype or the image that people have in their head, and he shows that hey, like this is a normal place. But especially with Africa, some of y'all I genuinely like worry about. Because even when people who are like, oh, but you know, the American propaganda makes you think that Africa is just like nothing and extremely all this. Guys, can you do a little bit of research and maybe just like a little bit of logical thinking? Like, do you really think an entire continent will just be sticks and mud and tribal people? If you just look up Africa City, you will see so many cities that look just like ours. With skyscrapers, big buildings, roads, infrastructure, all that type of stuff.
If you watch Speed go to Africa and your biggest takeaway was that, oh my god, it's not just huts and mud, that's not awareness, buddy. That is straight ignorance. That image of Africa, it didn't come from nowhere. It came from what you were taught, what you never questioned, and what you were always comfortable believing. Shame on you, bro.
Ishowspeed's Africa streams are doing multiple generational undamaging to your brain because.
How do you think the people who who push this propaganda field right now when so many people are realizing that they were wrong about Africa. Oh, people just want to demonize Africa, but hey, when it's time to take their resources, they're happy, they're jolly. We want to help you. Help us what? You want something. You want something. Some people, hey.
Y'all really thought that Africa was a bunch of twigs and huts? Like there isn't a representative from every single country that wants something out of this continent. Now, granted, some of the comments are people trying to be funny, but I can tell some of these are 100%. No, you really thought that. Y'all really thought Africa was in the arms of the... You really thought that was you thought it was Africa. Do you know how wealthy Africa is? Do you know how large Africa is? I'm telling you, he is undoing the damage of multiple decades. And I, for one, can't not commend him for doing that, because wow, in the future, we are going to have multiple generations of people who are more conscious about how things happen over in Africa. And it is going to be because they saw what it looks like on Ishowspeed stream. W Speed. Oh, and Grow Man, by the way. Yeah, I promise, Grow Man, watch this. Tax exemption.
Africa's beauty is not just physical, it is deeply human. Africans are among the most welcoming and respectful people in the world.
Oh, the African women. Whoa, guys. Even when Pete came here, he said, whoa, African women. Oh. No, African women. It's just that most of them cheat, man. They make us baboons nje. Like, why usanrati, utwele unrate. Really appreciate as basadi ba Africa. Oh.
Hospitality is not a trend here, it is a cultural value. Visitors are often surprised by the warmth they receive from strangers, the sense of community, and the respect embedded in everyday interactions. Then there is the food, rich, flavorful, diverse, and deeply tied to history. From spicy stews to grilled delicacies, from street snacks to ceremonial dishes, African cuisine tells stories of land, family, and identity. Music, dance, fashion, and language flow naturally from the soul of the people, creating cultures that continue to influence.
Most of them have natural. They did not go.
It's the world, from global pop music to fashion runways. What many fail to realize is that Africa has always contributed to global civilization.
Yes, yes.
Long before modern Europe, African kingdoms thrived with advanced systems of governance, trade, architecture, and education.
To them, they invented everything, right?
Cities like Timbuktu were once centers of global learning. Trade routes connected Africa to Asia, the Middle East, and Europe centuries ago. Africa was never backward, it was interrupted.
Yes.
Despite this interruption, Africa continues to rise. Today, African cities like Lagos, Nairobi, Accra, Rwanda, Johannesburg, and Cairo are redefining innovation, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and culture. African creatives dominate global music charts. African tech startups attract international investment. African fashion, film, and art influence global trends. Yet the old stereotypes persist, especially among those who have never experienced the continent.
Yes, I feel like most people won't get you as you're speaking to them. They have to experience like Africa on their own. And here, Chinese, white, Latino, European, what. Africa, welcome. Just experience things and be respectful. You'll see things. You'll enjoy your time here. You'll enjoy your time here. You know, you'll get to eat coleslaws. Imagine eating coleslaws when you're from Switzerland, transcending the game, guys. You see, if you come from Canada, if Drake comes here, South Africa, he must try coleslaws. Especially the expired ones. Quality. He won't die. Quality.
firsthand. So the question remains, is this ignorance? Perhaps, but it is also a consequence of limited exposure, selective storytelling, and a global system that has not always been fair in how Africa is portrayed. The good news is ignorance can be corrected. All it takes is visibility, honesty, and open-mindedness. When people see Africa through real experiences, not filters of pity or prejudice, they begin to understand that Africa is not waiting to be saved. Africa is building, creating, and leading in its own way. Moments like this African tour remind the world that Africa doesn't need validation, but representation matters.
Yes.
When the story changes, perception changes. When perception changes, respect follows. And for Africans watching, these moments also spark pride. Pride in identity,
pride in Africa,
pride in
proud
culture,
of Africa,
pride in
not
home.
just South Africa, the
They
whole of
remind
Africa.
Africans that their continent is not defined by how others describe it, but by how they live, grow, and shape their future.
I knew Africa had a bad PR, but I had no idea how bad it was until I started watching the reactions to the famous American streamer Ishowspeed's tour in Africa. And here is my take as an African living in Japan. So many people are shocked that Africa doesn't look like huts and poverty everywhere, and honestly, I'm more shocked that you're shocked. My flabber is gasted. First
Your
of all, I'd like
is
to
very
use this as a
gasted.
reminder that Africa as a continent is huge, and you can fit 3
green
United
and white.
States in there. 3 of them. The other
Two of them,
fact
but green
is
and
that
white.
Africa is one of the fastest urbanizing continents in the world, and nearly 45% of the population live in urban areas. That's almost half of the continent living in urban areas. And this is urbanization defined by the United Nations, the World Bank, and all of these. Urbanization means cities and towns, not huts. And most of the cities where the majority of the population live in are capitals, and these were the center of activities in the previous empires, and then they became the center of slave trade, and also further in the colonial era became the center where natural
slave
resources
trade.
were exported from.
You see?
So of course
They come to steal here, then they make us the bad guys, but they want their gold, our platinums, our cobalt. They make us, they make our people go to the trees to collect rubbers. If they don't collect rubbers, they cut off their hands. Then they build their country out of other people's labor without paying them.
roads and networks were built around there,
And they were never arrested. They died peacefully.
the current modernization actually continued from those points. From a development point of view, you can see how this created a disparity between people living in the rural area and urban area. That's a whole other discussion, but it doesn't mean that the remaining population live in huts.
No.
To be frank with you, I'll tell the truth. I myself failed for that bad PR, to the level that when I was hearing stories from my grandfather's point of view, he was a son of a big chief of a clan in a certain village, I was fantasizing about going to visit these places with huts and people dancing around with funny raffia clothing. Tell me why when I was 18, I took all my savings and went to all these villages to visit. I saw this instead. Bruh. And yes, I was disappointed. I was like, where are the animals at? Where are the huts at? Where are the people dancing at? So yeah, as an African, surprise, surprise, I also want to go visit the Masai Mara. I want to visit all the remote villages as well, where people live in huts and brown animals and have fruits for free. But they're just not that.
Yes, fruits for free. Not the genetically modified fruits. No, we picked from the tree. It's for free. No, it's for free. Not what? Not put with pesticides. Not what? No. You see a benches there. You take the benches. You loom the benches. Oh, I don't eat benches, but okay. Let me say, apple kosi, well. You know, grapes, well. Murubei, well. Savannah, well.
Not many of them anymore. Now that I live in Japan, when I go to the countryside, I feel like it's very similar to where I grew up in Congo, you know, the countryside of Congo, and I'm like, the only difference, the people are the same, the heart is almost the same, maybe we speak different languages, but the infrastructure and, I don't know, access to electricity and water is there in both places, but in one, it's inconsistent, it's unreliable, there's a disparity, but don't let people fool you about what Africa as a continent is like in real life.
Africa is not a monolith. It is not poor. It is not backward. It is not a jungle. Africa is complex, modern, Ancient, futuristic, loud, soft, chaotic, organized, spiritual, innovative, and deeply human, all at once. So what do you think? Do all Americans still believe Africans live with spears and mosquitoes? Or is the world finally beginning to see Africa for what it truly is? And if you visited Africa or dream of visiting, which country stands out to you the most? For me,
yes, guys. Which, if you were to visit any country outside of South Africa, which one would you choose to visit? Me is always Tanzania. Tanzania or Ethiopia.
Hey, it's Lagos, Nigeria, a city of unstoppable energy, creativity, and ambition. A place that perfectly captures Africa's past, present, and future in one powerful rhythm. Let me know your thoughts. Africa's story is still being written, and this time, the world is finally paying attention. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Don't forget.
Shout out. Me, guys, Tanzania is my, like, and Cape Verde, you know, but Tanzania is like my number one. I want to visit there. Such a beautiful country, that one. But I'm surprised that many people thought Africa, the whole of Africa, was just poor. Yes, we have some poor places, just like other places. Yes, we have some villages, but not all villages have huts and no electricity. I don't think anybody hunts for your food here, unless it's with the dogs. Maybe it's I know, not with spears. But in Africa nje, Africa continent officer. We are evolving, you know. It's just that we have to stand for ourselves more and stop doing things. I feel like the number one thing that African fails to do is corruption. Hey, South Africans like money. Yes, you can easily bribe an African. If you want something in their country, bribe. Africans love money. That's the only thing. Otherwise, from then, Africa could be booming and not outside powers intervening in our ndabas. They must look at their own things, not coming in Africa here. You're going to help you, No, they're lying. They want something in your country. If you see you don't cooperate, if they see you don't cooperate, then they put in somebody that they mentored, that they taught. He will be scamming the country too, while they scam the country too. You understand me? But that's the world, you know. Africans they were using a black person to harm a black person, even though not physically, but a black person will harm you, and mostly every time behind that black person that is harming his people or her people is a white man. Mostly, I'm not saying all of them. Is the Western powers. Hey. But guys, hey, let's stop talking about politics, you know. Otherwise, you know, W video, you know. Shout out to Speed, you know. Shout out to Speed for showing the world that Africa is a beautiful country. Many people knew that. It's just that the people who are